Alyssa Truman. Nice to have you here on the channel. My name's Kyle. Obviously, your name's Alyssa. That's the introductions out of the way. Maybe you could tell us what you do, Alyssa, who you work for, what you're involved in.
Yes. So, as Kyle already said, I'm Alyssa. And I work for Adventist World Radio at the headquarters in Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm the marketing manager there. So I oversee all of our social media. With the pandemic, I have moved into production of different new shows and programs that we have started to produce. I help with the gift catalog, pretty much just like anything that's outward facing somehow goes through my fingers somewhere.
Awesome. And very specifically, I guess, on this in this discussion, I want to talk about the UBP, so Unlocking Bible Prophecies series, of which I think there's now been 2. So maybe just first fill us in on the concept of Unlocking Bible Prophecies in the first one, and then we'll get talking about the second one.
Excellent. So Unlocking Bible Prophecies, I would say what we've really done is we started pondering once the pandemic hit. How does evangelism look in the 21st century? If we were locked down for a long time, how can we still reach people? Obviously, we're already using the radio. All of our stations were still operating and running, but what more could we do? And we were all locked down in our homes. And so we decided we wanted to create a YouTube first digital evangelistic series. So rather than doing the very typical way that churches styles do it, this was going to be to reach a digital audience. So the calls to action were very specific to how YouTube would do them, stuff like that. So we actually launched our very first one in the spring of this year. Cam Utman, our vice president, was actually our speaker. So she spoke for 14 nights. And then we had such great reception to this. And we had a lot of people saying, we really would love this in our own language. So for the next 5 months, we worked to get them get them dubbed, voiceovered into multiple languages, get subtitles in multiple languages. And at the beginning of October, we relaunched what we call UBP 2.0. And we relaunched them in all these languages. So it appears that Cami is speaking now in Russian and Portuguese and Spanish all across the world. But really what this was, it was the answer to a greater need that we have as a church. And that's how to figure out how to meet people where they are at. And that really is in the digital platforms now.
Mm-hmm. So do you have any statistics or numbers from the first launch in English of how many people that might have reached?
So we know how many views we got. So the hard part with analytics and stuff, you can't necessarily say like, oh, this person watched all 10 of these or something like that. But we know how many views we got. So we got over 2.5 million views during the first series, which was launched and was only in English at that time. So we were very happy with that. The Lord really worked this series, and we heard so many incredible stories, very humbling stories to see how the Holy Spirit worked through people just finding us on YouTube. And they've been baptized, become Seventh-day Adventists, just giving their hearts to the Lord. Even 11-year-old kids who are watching the program nightly. I actually interacted with them in some of the live chats, and this little 11-year-old boy was there every single night faithfully watching the series. It was very, as a mom, that was very incredible to see this kid's commitment to watching this series.
So I guess when that series launched, that was at that period, the GC and AWR sort of teamed up to create this digital missionary movement of sorts. And then maybe you can let us know how those digital missionaries were involved in that first campaign.
So we created, actually it's what many of you are part of, if you're part of the digital missionary movement here. So it kind of was this thing where we're like, let's find 5,000 people to, sign up to be digital missionaries. And the Lord impressed upon all of your hearts to be a part of that. And within a matter of days, we actually had reached 10,000, which blew, I think, all of our minds, but probably not God's. He was like, I could have given you more. You didn't ask for more. So next time we know to think bigger. So what we did a lot with them, because we were kind of trying to figure out what to do, is we realized the power of the YouTube algorithms. And what we did, we started creating what we call hide and seek missions. So there are these videos of camis, and we would say, okay, go look for this keyword, scroll down until you find the video, and then watch it for at least 10 minutes. Obviously we'd like them to see the whole thing, but and then like it, put a comment there. And the more times people do this, finding it organically, YouTube decides, oh, this is a hot commodity, and it bumps you up in the rankings, so that when people are looking for topics, which they are, the second coming, the rapture, what happens when I die, these are things that tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are looking for every single month on YouTube. They're going to YouTube for their answers. And so we want to be high. We want the truth that is in the Bible to be what people are finding. And so simply by people going and searching, they were able to put them up. And at this time, many of these things, Bible prophecy, second coming, they're either the top one or in the top 5 of all of them. So this is actually a fantastic way for us to really be able to find and connect with people that are searching for topics.
So just to be clear, it wouldn't help if you gave us a direct link straight to the video.
Well, it would help you to be able to view it, but it wouldn't help others to be able to view it as much. Obviously, the more views we get, the more YouTube thinks it's popular, but the more you search for it and use it, that's even better.
Right. So specifically, the algorithm boosts a video when somebody searches for it, finds it, clicks on it, watches it, comments on it.
Yes.
Rather than landing directly on the page, as if somebody's giving you the direct link to it. That actually helps with our search terms, our videos ranking for those search terms at least. So,
and you're right too, though. It's not just about watching the video. It's about actually putting that comment in there, liking it. They like to know that not only did you watch it, but that you enjoyed the content, or that you're interacting with the content. So when you put that comment there, you're actually helping any ministry's video that you're watching. Okay. When you put the comment there and you love it, and you seek after it, you're helping your ministries. I don't care which ministry it is. We just need we need the Adventist truth to be at the top.
So how many languages did you say that this second series has gone to?
So the second series, we had it in over a dozen languages.
Now, was that a dozen languages all on the single YouTube channel, or did you create multiple YouTube channels?
Yeah, so actually what we did is we worked directly with different unions and conferences around the world. So for instance, in Ukraine, you could find it in Ukrainian, and you could find it in Russian. We as AWR, we relaunched it in English, and we relaunched a brand new evangelism channel. So this is now a very outward facing channel that we're providing content to try to actually meet the needs of the questions that are being asked. We also launched the Spanish version, and actually we are launching a Spanish evangelism channel because of the same thing, because we're seeing the need and we want to meet the need that is out there. But around the world, other places have been doing it. Different conferences, different unions have been hosting on their Facebook pages, on their YouTube pages. I know in Russian, Cami has been viewed, and these statistics are a little bit old because we're waiting until November 1st of 2020 to actually get where we currently are at with everybody. But we had over 500,000 views. I think that was like during the program itself. So this one, I believe, in my opinion, is actually going to far exceed the last one, because we're being able to reach people in their heart languages.
And so more than just people viewing the videos, how else do they interact? What are the call to actions like?
So many of the calls to actions, we have some very specific ones where we take people back to awr.org/Bible. And there people can submit prayer requests, where a digital missionary will actually sit there and pray with that person virtually. I actually have a quick story about that. So I was actually having to create a video to explain how this worked. And so I put in a very real prayer request. It was my prayer request, and I accidentally hit enter, and I didn't think anything of it. And the next day, this beautiful woman named Beulah, who I don't know who she is, I don't know where she lives, had sent me the most heartfelt prayer request. She has followed up with me twice, wanting to check in on my family. How's my daughter doing? And um, the thing is, there are people who are doing this with all of these prayer requests. Thousands and thousands of prayer requests are coming in, and they're being sent these heartfelt prayer requests, and they're being followed up with. So it's not just like this one timer, like, oh yay, I'm gonna pray with you. But it's like what Beulah is doing, where she's constantly following up with me. How are you doing? How can I pray for you this week? Which is creating and cultivating relationship, which is something that is harder to do in the digital sphere. And when you go to an evangelistic series in a church, it's easier. So prayer requests, sorry. And then the other thing, they can just ask Bible questions. Whatever question comes to their mind. And I've seen some of them, and they are hard. And again, we have people who are answering all of these questions kind of in real time and cultivating these relationships and then bringing them to a church. Something new we did with the UBP 2.0 was we also allowed people to sign up the very last 2 nights. People could go to awr.org/more. They could sign up to get a baptismal coach. So they would get connected with a local pastor who will help them, walk them through the baptismal process, or they can join a small group Bible study. And we called it a Bible mentoring group. So we actually have pastors all over the world who have signed up and are hosting Zoom Bible mentoring groups all during the week that people are able to come to and join. And it's actually a very cool experience for a lot of these pastors, because they're being able to find them, and we targeted people in their area specifically first, but other people are coming to them. So they're being able to reach a wider net, people that they may not have been able to reach otherwise.
That's amazing, Alyssa. So in what ways have digital missionaries actually played a part in that program?
So actually, it's the digital missionaries are the ones answering these questions. So, and they're answering the prayer requests. So Beulah could be one of you watching. I don't know. And if it is, thank you. Your prayer things have meant a lot to me. But so digital missionaries sign up. They go to dm.awr.org. Sorry, lots of I can't even think what these things are called. What are they called, Kyle?
Links? URLs?
You can tell it's the end of the day for me, and it's the beginning of the day for Kyle.
It is.
So lots of links, but DM stands for digitalmissionary.awr.org. So we have created what's called a Digital Missionary Portal. This is specific to Adventist World Radio. This is not, although we partner with the Digital Missionary Movement that we're talking to right now, just so everyone knows these are kind of separate things, but that we are
same but different.
we're cousins. So we like having fun and hanging out together.
That's right.
So when they go there, you can sign up and you can be a digital missionary. And then you can choose, like, I can take 10 prayer requests. I can answer 5 Bible questions. And then the digital missionaries have actually started creating these relationships. And we get stuff recently. A digital missionary reached out to us and said, hey, I've been talking with this contact in Uganda. He is really excited about everything he's learned. We've been kind of studying, answering a lot of questions. I'd like, he's ready now to find the church near him. He wants to be baptized. So a digital missionary was able to take this guy from watching the video, start answering his questions, and is now being able to get him connected with a local church. So before that, there was nothing to bridge that gap. That is actually the beauty of what the digital missionaries are being able to do. From wherever you are in the world, you can bridge the gap from the broadcast to the baptism.
Yeah. I guess that's a super important point, right? Because all the ministries around the world could do as much as they possibly can to generate leads, to find people interested in the Bible. But if we can't create relationships with church members, and those relationships foster discussion, talking, invitations to small groups, to churches, then it's very hard to transition a digital contact to a literal church member. So it's actually a very integral, vital role that this is really fulfilling, isn't it?
To me, not to minimize everybody else, it's actually probably one of the.
Do it. Say it. Just say it.
It's probably the most important, because here's the thing: is if we're sharing all of this stuff and it's just going into the abyss and nobody is caring for them and coming alongside them and helping them to make that commitment, we could lose them, because the lure of the world is so strong. And so the digital missionaries, the importance of them cannot be like trying to like
Underestimated.
yeah, like I'm trying to think of like it cannot be underestimated. Like literally this man in Uganda, he would not be where he was without the digital missionary. There's another story. I'll make it a quick one.
No, make it a long one.
Okay. Okay. I can't disclose the country and I have to be very cautious with the details. And I will try not to cry because it's just an incredible story to me. But there is a man who is a very high ranking official in a very messed up country. I'm just going to leave it at that. So it's a very corrupt country. And he had actually hired a personal witch to kind of like deal with any curses that might be put on him. Somebody who is in the department actually started sending these videos to him. They were a digital missionary. A digital missionary had the ability to start sending these videos to him. He started watching them, and his witch started noticing a difference. And she realized she told him, she goes, I want to watch what you are watching because what I can't combat it. I cannot overcome what you are going through. And now both of them are watching the Bible truths that are being presented from Unlocking Bible Prophecy. And they are really it's very thought-provoking for them. They seem to be responding very well to it. We don't know where the story is going to land. It's still, a story in process, but somebody was brave enough to send it to the highest ranking people. Can you imagine how our world could be changed? There are 22 million Adventists, right, Kyle? Something
roughly.
Like
Yeah.
We're going to go with it. 22 million Adventists. Imagine if only 11 million, so half of them, became digital missionaries. And they sent it to 10 people. I'm really bad at math, so I'm going to stop there now. Okay. Really bad. I could half it. That's about it. Like, I don't know, would it be like 1.1 million people? And billion?
Sure.
We're going with it. Okay. All you math nerds out there, you can be totally appalled.
In the comments, if you could just do some maths in the comments, that'd be great.
Yes, please let us know what 11,000 times 10 is, because apparently we can't figure it out. But that's okay. We're not here to know math.
That's right.
But what if we did that? What if we could get all of us to just share it with those people? I see people in my feed and like, I know they're searching, but sometimes we get scared to do it. How easy is it to send a link to a video? How easy is it for us to be able to do these different things? We know that there are tens of thousands of people looking for the truth on the second coming, the truth on the rapture. The work that the digital missionary is doing that to search and rescue these videos. There are other Adventist videos out there, although please keep bumping ours up. We'll let you go find something that's a common term: second coming, rapture, not state of the dead. That's what we call it. What happens when you die? Think about like if you were to go to YouTube and type in a Bible question that you're asking, type it exactly how you would, and then just look until you find some Adventist content. Watch it, like it, comment on it. We need to be helping people who are searching to find truth, because there's a lot of error out there, a lot.
So the reason I guess we're talking about this is because we've just bombarded these beautiful people with 15 plus emails about all these search and rescue missions. And I guess what I really wanted to do is just help everybody to see that this is making a massive difference, because the visibility of these videos is obviously broadening the exposure, broadening the visibility, and then therefore creating more contacts, generating more leads of people that are then chatting to other digital missionaries who have taken the next step. They're not only doing search and rescue missions, they're actually praying for people, they're actually answering Bible questions, and they're not doing it alone. They have coaches, they have access to help and support. Am I correct?
Yes.
And so these people are going above and beyond to be a missionary in a digital space, and it is making a difference. And that's the point of this video. Thank you for those stories, Alyssa. Thank you for letting us know what difference this is having. Is there any other stories, or is that the the few that you have prepared for us?
I have one. I'm all right. So I actually think a lot of times the behind the scenes people, they don't get as much credit. And that I do a lot of books on leadership and like self-improvement and stuff like that. And one of the things I talked about was like trying to make sure you let people know who maybe don't hear all the good news, what they kind of helped do, which is what we're kind of trying to do here. We're trying to let you know you made a difference. So a story just came in that I'm really excited about, and I'm actually getting it typed up and we're going to actually email it to people. So when people watch this series, one of the things that we give them are PDF handouts. So they can get these handouts that kind of just basically kind of go over everything that the sermon was about. So there is another country that I cannot name. There are lots of stories from countries I can name, but these ones were really cool. So sorry. But they people can't afford to download videos. They can't afford to be even like playing the audio files of it. So these people downloaded the PDFs and have gone into their villages and are actually preaching the gospel from the PDFs. So we actually, the Adventist Church has created something called the Digital Evangelism Initiative. And one of the parts of that is we're actually finding writers and illustrators and video editors and like all sorts of people, Adventists, who are really good at what they do, who maybe need some side work. And so last UBP, we employed a bunch of these different people. They wrote these things. They designed these items. They put them up on the website. And now these things that they created, that they wrote, they designed, are literally actually changing lives in these jungle villages. Sermons are being preached and people are being brought to the Lord by the words that the Holy Spirit led them to write. And to me, that's like a really cool story because like, I think that there's so many different ways to reach people. Obviously I work for Adventist World Radio, so whoop whoop for radio. But like we are even starting to explore and learn different things. So we are going into the social media realms. We're on Instagram, and YouTube and stuff. We're starting to trickle possibly into TikTok here in the next month or so. Like the fact of the matter is we have to reach people where they're at, but some people actually can't be in the digital platform. So it's beautiful that we still have the written word, and the ability to still be able to just preach the gospel message to people where they are at. Because that's what honestly evangelism is all about, is reaching people where they are at.
Alyssa, it's super exciting. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for sharing with us some of those stories about how directly the digital missionaries are making a massive impact in people's lives, in people's eternities through the programs that you guys are running. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me. And thank all of you for all that you are doing. And it is never too late to get on board any of the missions that are sent out every single week. Even if you've missed a bunch of them, jump on board, get in, become a part of it. It'll change your life, because as you change others, it changes you.
So we should give them a URL to go to if they want to become a digital missionary and you're not one yet. If you stumble across this on YouTube, you can go to connect.adventist.org/digital. I know that's not short. There is a solution coming, but for now it's connect.adventist.org/digital. And the link to find all the AWR sermons in the multiple languages and to be a digital missionary on that platform, Alyssa?
awr.org/Bible. And actually in March, we'll be rolling out probably another 20 languages.
Wow.
We
Cool.
won't
Do you have
be around the world.
Have you got an Australian one yet?
That would be called English.
Okay. Just checking if you had like an Australian lingo version or not.
I don't know. We could do one.
I think we should.
I shouldn't be the person to do it. I actually just tried to do some Aussie talk today, and I was told by my dear friend Ruth that I had missed. I had missed dramatically, so it won't be me.
We'll get Ruth to do it then.
Excellent.
She's nominated herself with that comment. Great. Thank you for your time. We'll leave it there.
Have a great day.
Bye.